if you're creating custom AIs in general, GPTs isn't the way. So if someone knows what they're doing, computer scientist, software engineer, it's easy for me to get these things. If someone doesn't know what they're doing, of course it's difficult to get it. Everyone thinks that this is the way to do it, and it is the easiest way to do it, 100%. However, it is not the safest way to do it. Today's session is actually, there are people that are creating these custom AIs and giving away IP. Fortunately, unfortunately, but it is the state of affairs right now. So I want to talk about that whole thing in general. So I'd love to keep it on topic with custom GPTs today, and not only custom GPTs, but custom AIs. I'll show you some of the things that I've built. I won't actually go into how to create it yet, but I want to cover the why, what not to do sort of situation, because if you're creating custom AIs in general, GPTs isn't the way to do it. Hey, it's Ronsley. Welcome, you AI geek, to Amplify AI. So it'd be good to get some action in here and some other voices other than mine.
Hey, I'm using your BDM prompt from a couple meetings ago. Awesome stuff.
Really?
A lot of fun. Oh yeah, I've got a mentor coming on board, a mentee, and so I created a whole BDM for that, just tweaked, and then took more context, put a lot of context in because of your training, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Amazing. Can you tell me what you landed up doing so that I have an idea? Like what did it look like? How did you start? You finished the training. What did you do?
Just got the outline because he's just coming on board. So I've got to go in and tweak it. It's just given me the raw stuff today. Great ideas. I'll go in and tweak it, but a lot of great stuff. But in commercial real estate, he's a brand new broker and he's coming on. I'm going to be mentoring him, right? So
Nice.
Put together a full program. And your BDM was great.
Amazing. So you got the BDM thing working. Scott, I'd love to hear from you. How are things going? I noticed you're doing a lot of homework.
Yeah, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm really resonating with you, brother. I bought your book, and I mean, I'm dipping my toe into an ocean of possibility here. And I just really, I do a lot of coaching, mentoring, consulting. Why reinvent the wheel? Why not look at the horizon and figure out who's ahead of you? You're ahead of me, and I'm cool with that. I'm, jumping on with these great people that are doing great things. So I'm vibing high with what you're doing. And I'm cheering for you, and I'm cheering for me, and I'm cheering for us. And I'm having a lot of fun, so thank you.
I appreciate that. I am ahead of most people primarily because of the amount of hours and years that I've gone into the computer science side of things. And it was lying dormant. In fact, actually, my parents hated the fact that they thought I was never using all this, education. They're like, oh, you got 2 master's degrees. What are you doing talking to a microphone and doing podcasting for? This has been the last 20 years of my life. So 12 at least years of my life. So it's good to be finally using that in a professional sense. And also it's really interesting to see how what comes so naturally to me, it's not natural to some other people, which I would never have thought. I thought it just comes naturally. But then you forget how much training you've been through. And that's why it comes so naturally, because of the training you've been through, even though it's in the past and so long ago. And today's session is actually a result of that in particular, because there are people that are creating these custom AIs and giving away IP. Fortunately, unfortunately, but it is the state of affairs right now. And not only are giving, so I believe, so I want to talk about that whole thing in general, maybe. So I know there's like a bunch of you here. So what I'd love, if you don't mind, I'd love to keep it on topic with custom GPTs today. And not only custom GPTs, but custom AIs. I'll show you some of the things that I've built. I won't actually go into how to create it yet, but I want to cover the why, what not to do sort of situation, because if you're creating custom AIs in general, GPTs isn't the way to do it. Okay. So this is a custom GPT instruction generator, and some of you might notice where this has come from. I'm not going to name and label, But I've actually literally put a couple of commands in, and it's given me the full instruction list of what this GPT is meant to do. So all I need to do is copy this and create my own version of that. Do you see how quickly this is? I didn't even spend 20 seconds to get these instructions. So if someone knows what they're doing, computer scientist, software engineer, it's easy for me to get these things. If someone doesn't know what they're doing, of course it's difficult to get them. So what is happening right now is everyone thinks that this is the way to do it, and it is the easiest way to do it, 100%. However, it is not the safest way to do it if you're building a business around it. So I would love you to not only not do it, but if you're doing it, have better instructions in play. The reason I show you getting instructions, but this actually happened because if a lot of you don't know, my previous or my current, over the last 12 years, I've been making podcasts for some very, very famous people, like actors, politicians, songwriters, athletes. And a couple of months ago, I had one of a very good friend of mine who I made a podcast for him, and he's very famous. He's got multiple movies and stuff like that. And he's like, hey, Ronsley, I have this, I'm about to put 100 grand on, he's got multiple books. I've got to put 100 grand to pay this AI expert to take my books and my frameworks and make them an AI. And do you mind just being on the call? It's just, I said, I'm happy to be on the call. So I was on the call, and this person was sort of going to take all his IP and put it into a custom GPT, which he had already done, and he was showing him the prototype, and then he was about, so I was like, how are you safeguarding the instructions? And the guy goes, oh, the instructions are safe. I'm like, no, hold my coffee, give me the link. And shared my screen, and in front of them, I got the instructions, and the instructions, his instructions to not give me the instructions, I got those as well. So I'm trying to tell you here that there's a difference between someone who's just learning AI and there's someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. Very different, right? If you are looking to build a career out of building AIs for your people and for your industry, if you've already started on custom GPTs, amazing. Like, that is just the best thing, because now you understand how AIs work, which is where the power is. So now it is about how do you create that in a way that, you don't see instructions. Before I go and share that, let me just look at the comments. Like, I'd love you to share functionality with me and just give me an idea of what kind of stuff you've created. Amazing that you've not shared it, but what kind of stuff are you looking to create? What kind of solutions are you looking to give your people?
Sure. Okay. Hey, everybody. So I'm a dental marketing consultant here in Australia. So I work with dental practices, and you won't know this, Ronsley, but my background is actually computer science and mathematicians. So for me, when I saw AI, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm coming home. So my early career was tech, was coding, performance engineer. So I could see the opportunity, right? So I've gone hard pretty early. So I can see custom GPTs that can solve the problems of my clients. So simple things like, how do you respond to a negative Google review? And being able to make it follow the rules that they have within the health services in Australia. So to make it very specific to Australia, to follow what I have put in my book and the guidelines on how to reply. So I built a little custom GPT, but haven't shared it because my fear is exactly what you just said, Ronsley. Like, I'm aware that I get watched by all of my competitors in Australia. So I've done how many?
I know, we've spoken about
the
people that have done that. Yeah.
Totally. Yes, we have,
Yeah.
my friends. So I know that I'm watched, and I think I've done 8 AI seminars this year. I've got a huge amount lined up for next year, and people are watching me. So if I create these GPTs that solve the problems of many of my competitors, then like, I'm just giving it all away. I've also done one, so another problem that we have in the industry, and it's probably the same for most businesses everywhere, is social media. So what I will do is I'll go out, I'll get a photographer, we will take like 200 images, right? And then they get 200 images, but what do you do with them? So I've built this GPT that talks about they have to basically scrape their website, scrape their socials, scrape their Google reviews, give me a bit more about the practice. So I really get a good understanding of what they do, what services they're trying to promote. The GPT looks at all of the images and then writes social media posts saying, image 123 XYZ, this is it. And again, it's all Australian based, it follows the legal regulations. So again, it's like me using my knowledge of the problems of the industry to produce a really good solution. But again, I haven't released it because how do I protect it and how do I monetize it? So hence my question to you, Ronsley, in school is what the hell do I do? Because I can see that people can just steal this stuff, right? So that's where I am.
Yeah, amazing. So for everyone in here that's watching, while Caroline was talking and giving all these ways that she's using AI, I wonder if you had any ideas on how you could use AI in your business or for your clients. And if you could put that in the chat, that would be great. This obviously, I mean, the great thing is that you're a computer scientist, which makes things a lot easier. So let me show you what I have built for the Vayner team. This is Gary's new book, Day Trading Attention. And rather than you read the book, you understand the book, then you take the book and try and personalize the book for yourself. It'll ask you 7 questions. So Caroline, maybe we can use you as an example, if you don't mind, if you can just help me fill these out as best you can.
Okay. So my industry is health and dental marketing, I guess. Okay.
Who's your target audience?
Target audience are dental practice owners, dental practice managers, and DSOs, so dental corporations.
Amazing. What are your business goals? Just give me rough ones here.
Okay, business goal is to sell a marketing academy, so online education platform for dentists. So that's my number one.
Brand values, can you give me a few?
Trustworthy, considered, experienced, no bright, shiny objects.
So rather than read the book, understand the book, it's creating now what is a SOC strategy, strategic organic content strategy. And it's building it out. It's telling you exactly what to do, how to measure your metrics, how to find your cohorts. So these are the different cohorts within your audience, your solo practice pioneers, your different types of business cohorts, the competitive cohorts, the regional cohorts, how to create who they are, what's attention, and what are their behaviors, the whole breakdown. Then it's going to do your implementation notes and break the whole thing down. So what would normally have taken someone, I don't know how long, to read the book, understand the book, apply the book, we just spent, I don't know, like 2 minutes trying to figure out the inputs, and it has applied the whole algorithm to your situation. Now, if that is not a reduction in cognitive load, I don't know what is, right? But you cannot see the prompts. You cannot see shit. You cannot see anything, actually. All you can see, and you're not having to figure out what prompt I should put in the custom GPT, you have to figure out what prompt. Now, in this situation, I haven't done that primarily because it was an ethical guideline from their corporate office that they did not want to keep people's data. So we're not storing, but you can. For example, in custom GPTs, you don't know what people are entering in. So if they use your GPT and they use it in whatever way, you have no idea how they're doing it. Here, at least you have an idea. You can refine it. You can make the process better. You can improve it. So this is very different. Now, for everyone here that's kind of wondering where to go and find more things, when you go into ChatGPT, and on the left-hand side, if you come down and hit Explore GPTs, you can go in here and see all the different types of GPTs that exist. And they've created, I think, 6 or 7 categories here, main categories, which are the top picks, but also writing, productivity, research analysis, education, lifestyle programming. But some of the things in research education is like amazing. Like Scholar GPT, for example, I use this comprehensively to write the book. The book, by the way, has like over 50 references to research papers. And the reason for that, and it's the literature review done in the book is so extensive, is because of tools like this that go and search through archives. Now, when I wrote my thesis, in software engineering under process quality and software quality. I spent a year and a half in the library trying to distill what had been done before me. That was literature review. That's crazy when I think about the change. Okay, so that's an example. And I'd say 99% of all these GPTs, if you leave me with them for less than 10 minutes, I will get all their instructions. I'm not even talking about a long time to hack through them. I'm talking about less than 10 minutes. So, however, you get good ideas on what you can do. For example, this one writes for you, this one creates images for you. There's you just want to write, creates logos. There's different things that do different custom GPTs that do different things. So the reason I brought this up is I would like to know from everyone in here, what kind of custom GPTs would you like to create? Actually, just start with the first one. Like, what can you create right now that will change your workflow? Like, what do you do regularly? I built this AI that all I do is I come up the top here and I put a URL in here, and what it'll do is like it'll go watch the video for me and break the whole video down. And what was a 45-minute video now is a 1-minute read. This is probably the best one.
Hey, AI Geek. Thanks for listening. Your job doesn't stop here. I want you to lend your voice to the conversation. So you can join those conversations, discussions, new trainings, new recordings, and the rest of the AI Geeks by going to aigeeks.co. Also, share this podcast with a friend, another potential AI geek. Until then, much love.